that? Black-leg Sanji. Attempt to take a photo failed. Bounty, 77 million berries.
What is up, people of YouTube? It's your boy Gullapy coming for another One Piece video. And I know I haven't done any One Piece chapter reviews, but that's because, well, by the time I'm reading them, it's mad nighttime. I'm gonna try to do them once in a while, but after chapter 1051, baby, my god, that was a beautiful chapter. Having all that stuff going down with the war going down, Kaido being defeated, Luffy and Zoro knocked out, but they're being treated. But that is not what I'm going to be talking about today. Today, I'm going to be talking about these bounty leaks that I have found on Twitter. Yes, you heard me correctly. Apparently, someone leaked the bounties for the Straw Hats and some of the other people that was in the war. So, without further ado, sit back, relax, because it's time to check some bounties.
Dream or be washed away in the tide.
Go for it, Luffy.
So I'm gonna read off some of these bounty leaks, by the bounties they were before to now, and then how they got that increased bounty. To start things off, I'm gonna go with my baby girl Nami. Her current bounty was 66 million berries, and then now her update bounty is gonna be 132 million berries, and it's crediting her for assisting the defeat of Page 1. Now, but what does this mean for Nami though? Because 66 million to 132 million, that's not bad of a bump. That's about like, she actually got bumped up another 66 mil. So that's pretty cool, honestly. Because honestly, if new bounties were gonna happen after Wano, I don't expect everyone to have a high bounty because they're gonna get a big bump, but not the highest bump. But let's continue on with the next Straw Hat, and that's going to be Cyborg Frankie, with his current bounty being 94 million berries, with his updated bounty being 200 million berries, and he's credited with having the defeat of Sasaki. Now, I'm actually surprised he had this type of bump because one, Frankie did a lot in this war. Not only he shot Big Mom with his cannon blast, he freaking smacked off his motorcycle. Well, if these leaks were true, I'm proud of Frankie for having this type of bump in bounties. Up next, we're gonna be talking about Brook, with his current bounty being 83 million and being boosted to his updated bounty of 166 million berries, being credited with assisting Robin in defeating Black Maria. Now, another thing I want to bring up is how it's kind of interesting Brook got this type of boost because he did assist it, but I feel like he did more in this arc than anyone else. He was one of the main players in the game because not only he fought Black Maria, he fought one of the CP0 dudes. He also assisted Robin, Frankie, Sanji. Brook was a main player. Even though I don't think he had his own fight, he was a main player. Next up, we're gonna go with the boy of the thumbnail, my boy Tony Chopper, with his current bounty being 100 berries and his updated bounty being, are you ready for this? 150 berries. And I know what you're probably thinking. Why the disrespect towards Chopper? Well, that's the joke of everything, you know, because they see Chopper, the world government sees Chopper as a pet. But 150 berries, I just know when we get that scene when Chopper finds out that he got 150 berries, he's gonna be, that scene's gonna be very funny. And he's credited with being the pet of the Straw Hat Pirates. That's literally the only thing he got. Now, if the world government knew what he really did in Wano and throughout, I bet his bounty would be high. It would probably be like, what, the 5th highest? Because Chopper OP. Okay, we're gonna go up a little bit higher with these Straw Hats. We're gonna go with my boy, God Usopp. God Usopp current bounty was 200 million berries, and his updated bounty is going to be 400 million berries. Now that's a 200 million berry boost, and he's credited with having to assist with the defeat of OT Page 1. God Usopp has influenced the Beast Pirates to turn sides. So what this means is that basically he's being credited for having the Beast Pirates turn sides, even though we all know it was Tama using her dumpling devil fruit. Now a 200 million boost, that is crazy even for Usopp. This is pretty much what Luffy had back in Dressrosa actually. So nice to see my boy Usopp getting the love he needs. Now we're raising up the Straw Hats. We're at the demon child herself, Robin, Nico Robin, my wife. Current bounty being 130 million berries to a whopping 1,130,000,000 berries. Now, that is ridiculously boosted, but it is well deserved, because if you follow One Piece, Rob should be theoretically like a high bounty, like at least a second in the Straw Hats behind Luffy, because being the demon child with all this information she got. And it stated that she's credited with having the defeat of Black Maria and being the most dangerous woman alive due to her ability to read the poneglyphs. So I guess they're just adding on top of the whole being able to read poneglyphs. And honestly, like I said before, these are just speculated leaks. If these leaks are down to be true, this will mean Robin will be one of the higher Straw Hats to be don't fuck with. And honestly, I can't wait to see her reaction when she gets to see her bounty. Up next, we're gonna do my main man Jinbei. With his current bounty being a warlord, being 438 million, being boosted to a new whopping 876 million berries. Now, that's about 400 million boosted, so he's being credited for having the defeat of the former Cypher Pool member Who's Who. Now, that fight alone was pretty crazy, because when he was fighting Who's Who, he was announced to be a former Cypherport agent, and he left because he couldn't retrieve the Gum Gum fruit. Now, I would think defeating Who's Who would give him a higher bounty, but a whopping 400 million extra is not that bad. I honestly thought he would be like at least the 4th highest bounty in the crew, but that's pretty cool for Jinbei. I'm actually super excited to see what this brings them. So let's get on to the next one. I know you're probably expecting me to talk about the monster trip, but let's throw a wrench in this. Let's talk about Yamato, the newest Straw Hat until 1052 if Luffy says no. Apparently, Yamato got a bounty. Yes, Yamato's bounty was currently at 0 because one, Yamato never did anything under the world government's eyes, so Yamato was at 0, with the new current bounty being 550 million berries, credited for being the son of Kaido. Now, that alone, imagine being the son of someone and then that's automatically your freaking bounty. Now, that's the bounty Luffy had after Dressrosa. That's pretty crazy, just having the first bounty being that high. Not bad. Not bad. I'm pretty excited to see what Yamato brings to the Straw Hats, and let's see how far this goes. All right, here we go, guys. Blackleg Sanji's current bounty was 330 million berries, and his update bounty is going to be 1,350 million berries, credited for having the defeat of Queen the Plague. Now, this is a huge jump, literally 1 billion berries. This is crazy because one, that, like I said, that fight with Queen was something else. I'm glad that Sanji got this type of bounty, but I wonder what that picture of Sanji they're gonna use. It would be hilarious if they use another drawn picture of Sanji. But furthermore, let's talk about Luffy's right-hand man, Roronoa Zoro, with his current bounty being 320 million berries to a new whopping 1,350 million berries. And I know what you're probably thinking. Isn't that the same bounty as Sanji? Yes, because finally, this rivalry they hit a cap. Both bounties are gonna be the same, and I'm digging that. I'm fucking digging that, because one, the rivalry is pretty much the same. They're pretty much at equal path. This shows that they're both equal paths. Now, I know a bunch of people are like saying that bounties don't equal to power level, but this is like the closest thing we could use as a power level, as a scaling, But Zoro is also credited for having the defeat of King the Wirefire. Now, if I were to pick which fight was better between Sanji and Queen and King and Zoro, it was Zoro and King's fight, because finding out about Lunarians was kind of crazy, and I really like King's design, and the whole Zoro becoming the King of Hell, amazing. But do I think there's a fair bounty for having both of them as the same? Oh yeah, hell yeah. I just feel like this is not the last bounty the Straw Hats are gonna get. I feel like we might get a few more bounties updated after this. With all these new bounties, I can't wait to see what Luffy's bounty is gonna be. But we'll talk about that after this. All right, y'all, welcome back, and let's talk about more bounties. But before we even talk about Luffy's bounty, let's talk about the supernovas that assisted Luffy. Let's talk about Beppo. If you don't know who Beppo is the right-hand man of Law of the Heart Pirates. Beppo's current bounty is 500 berries. Beppo has the same joke as Tony. Being credited as the pet of the Heart Pirates, his bounty did update it to a whopping 1,000 berries. So you could say he's doing better than Chopper, honestly. But honestly, I'm a little disappointed with Beppo in this arc because since he's a mink, I kind of wanted to see what his Zulon farm was gonna look like, and him being a right-hand man of Law, I kind of wanted to see some crazy action. But I digress. Let's move on to Killer, the right-hand man of Kid. With his current bounty being 200 million berries, being updated to a whopping 400 million berries, being credited for defeating Basil Hawkins. It's a pretty decent one for being a supernova, you know. I wasn't expecting Killer to be boosted all the way to Zoro, because when Killer and Kid was introduced, they were kind of being like the anti-Zoro and Luffy. So, but I never really expected Killer to be up there after this Wano arc, honestly, if it were gonna be real. But that's enough of the right-hand man of the supernovas. Let's talk about the supernovas themselves, and we're gonna start off with Kid, Captain Eustace D. Kid. I'm joking. With his current bounty being 470 million berries and being updated to a whopping 3,270,000,000 berries, being credited for assisting Law in the defeat of the Yonko Big Mom. Now, this is a crazy jump because Kid and Law hasn't had an update the bounty for a long time within the story. Luffy was bumping up left and right while Kid and Law was just staying at the same. And this is kind of crazy because also Kid at this moment passed Luffy. Now, knowing that Kid, if this leaks are true, knowing that Kid got a 1 billion berry bounty, what can we see for Luffy? And honestly, I'm actually really excited to see this because, like I said, Kid and Law, they need it. They need that boost. So with that, let's move on to the second, which is Law. Law's current bounty was 500 million berries, and now his updated bounty being 3,300,000,000 berries, being credited with the assist of Eustace Kid in the defeat of Yonko Big Mom. Now, Law obviously has a bigger bounty than Kid because I feel like Law would have a bigger bounty than Kid after this arc because I feel like he did a little bit more in the fight, but then again, they were both kind of like equal in the fight against Big Mom. But we just gotta wait and see because once again, like I said, these are just leaks I found on Twitter. Don't know if these are real, and I'm gonna give my thoughts about these leaks after I'm done with them. Let's talk about the main man himself, Monkey D. Luffy, with his current bounty being 1.5 billion berries, being stated to be the 5th Yonko, and now his updated bounty being a whopping 5,600,000,000 berries. God damn! For being credited for having initiated the raid on Onigashima and ultimately resulting in defeating the 2 Yonkos, awakening the Nika fruit, and having 800 years of democracy and liberation of the land of Wano. Holy shit, Luffy, you're a war criminal. But yes, Luffy basically bumped up right next to Roger and Shanks and mother effing Whitebeard. Because does Luffy deserve this type of bounty? Yes, I honestly think this should be Luffy's current bounty. If not 5 billion, 6 million berries, at least 5 billion berries. Luffy needs to be around that after Wano. And just seeing that type of bump, but am I really surprised? Like, this is Luffy we're talking about. Luffy always has a huge bump of bounty after arcs. Whether that being Dressrosa, Sky Island, Water 7, he always has a huge bump from bounties. That's pretty much all the leaks, but let me give you guys my insight about these leaks. Now, do I think these leaks are true? 50-50. I kind of hope these are true because these bounties are pretty funny and fire. Funny because of Chopper and Beppo, but fire because of everyone else. And some of these bounties are well deserved for majority of the characters, if not all of them. Like I said, I feel like these bounties are mad balanced because I don't feel like everyone should be getting like a billion bounty after Wano. Like, for instance, Nami being 1 million at this point, that seems pretty fair, and so is Frankie for being 2 million. That's pretty fair too. You know, everyone got their bump, and then the main players, like, everyone had a part, but you know, I'm talking about like Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Kid, you know, they're getting their fair bumps too, rightfully so. Another thing I want to talk about is how did these bounties come to fruition, you know, because one, I don't think no one from the world government is like there to write down for bounties. You know, the CP0 guys are there, one of them is, but what, I don't know, unless he gave out the news that all this happened, which I doubt it. So what I'm trying to say is I don't think these bounties are gonna be present immediately right after Wano. I'm pretty sure like after a while, and when the news coverage gets wind of like what happened to Wano, then we'll see the bounties. So what I'm really saying is I feel like we won't see these type of bounties until probably the middle of the next arc, if not maybe like the beginning of the next arc. But with that being said, guys, are you excited for these new bounty leaks? If you guys want to have discussion of if these are accurate bounty leaks, let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button. But let's have a discussion, guys, and don't forget to subscribe, and till the next one, peace.